You're listening to Alex Manners on the Solihull Radio Children's Show. Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to the live Solihull Radio Children's Show on this wonderful Sunday morning. I'm Alex Manners, and I will be with you with lots and lots of magical and splendid things right here on Solihull Radio Live, right up until 10 a.m. this morning. Well, boys and girls, I've got lots and lots of things coming up for you. I've got lots and lots of wonderful songs to play for you. I've got some excerpts of some old children's shows, some stories to read for you, and Rainbow Man is going on another wonderful adventure. The two excerpts of the children's shows that I will be playing for you today will be an excerpt from the Care Bears and one from another CBeebies show called ZingZillas. So, see if any of you can remember these two theme songs from the Care Bears and the ZingZillas.
Care Bears countdown, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Who's that coming from somewhere up in the sky? Moving fast and bright as a firefly. Just when you think the trouble's gonna pounce, who's gonna be there when it really counts? Do that Care Bears countdown and send a wish out through the air.
And send a wish out through the air.
Just do that Care Bears countdown. Just when you need them, they'll be there.
Just when you need them, they'll be there.
Don't be afraid when clouds are brewing in your heart. If you can dream, just send a wish out in the dark and do that Care Bears countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Did any of you, boys and girls, recognise or remember those two theme songs? Well, I'll be playing you some of those a bit later on in my show. As well as someone very special will be reading a story for you later, and Nicola Wicks from the Heartbeeps, West Midlands, Solihull and Henley and Arden Group, who run classes in and around Solihull for babies from birth up until 4 years old, and Nicola Wicks from the Heartbeeps Group will be reading a very, very special story later, but I won't reveal it because that will be a surprise for you all later on in my show. Also, if you have any birthdays that you would like to text in for me to read out on my show, then you can text in the studios on 075 64 30 30 64. That's texting me in any birthdays on 075 64 30 30 64. Or alternatively, you could email me here at the studio on studio@solihullradio.com. That's emailing me right here on studio@solihullradio.com. But to get my show started today, I thought I would play you a fantastic Tweenies song. Tweenies was one of my favourite shows when I was younger, so I thought I'd play you one of their all-time favourite best songs. So here we go with the Tweenies and a song called Thanks for the Music, and I really hope this gets you jiving and grooving for the rest of my show this Sunday morning. That was the Tweenies, and thanks for the music, and I really hope you all enjoyed listening to that, and it got you moving and grooving and bopping and jiving for the rest of my Sunday morning children's show live here on Solihull Radio. Well, I've got the first half of one of the excerpts of one of the old children's shows to play for you now, and the children's show that I'm going to play for you first is called Care Bears, and the excerpt that I'm going to play for you is called No Business Like Snow Business. So here we go with the Care Bears and No Business Like Snow Business. I hope you all enjoy it.
Who's that coming from somewhere up in the sky? Moving fast and bright as a firefly. Just when you think the trouble's gonna pounce, who's gonna be there when it really counts? Do that Care Bears countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Champ and Grumpy, you're the best babysitters in all of Carolot.
Oh, I'd rather do anything than babysit Hugs and Tugs.
Think of it as fun, sports fan. Huh? Yippee! I roped Champ. And I got Grumpy.
Oh, I can't stand babysitting.
Can we make popcorn now? Yeah, can we? You bet, sports fans. Oh, goody gosh. It's the caring beeper. There must be trouble on Earth.
Oh no!
Come on, Grumpy.
Coming! Whoa! Oh, if there's one thing worse than babysitting, it's playing cowboys and Care Bears.
Grumpy, it looks like trouble at the Winter Carnival.
This is gonna be one of those days.
Uh-oh. Looks like a problem between friends.
Oh, that's real trouble.
Maybe I was a good skier, but that was before the accident. Now I'm never gonna try again. If you were really my friends, you'd leave me alone.
Poor kid. If anybody ever needed help, it's Danny.
Ugh, all that snow gives me goosebumps.
Well, Grumpy, one of us has to give that sports fan a helping hand.
Be my guest, Champ. I'll stay here and babysit Hugs and Tugs. Anything's better than snow.
I've got to get Danny back on his skis. I know. I'll boost his confidence by getting him to do other sports first.
Oh, that goody-goody is out to do good, is he? That Care Bear is an annoyance that I don't care to bear. Baddesley! Where are you?
Oh, won't Shrieky ever leave me alone?
Ah, there you are. We've got work to do.
We do?
That's right, Furball. We're going to the Winter Carnival to get that Care Bear.
Winter Carnival? Oh, I just love playing in the snow. No, I mean, I hate playing in the snow. Because what's good is bad and what's bad is good.
What took you so long?
Shrieky? But how? Yeah, but who?
Well, stop yakking and get going. You clumsy Furball! Oh, Grumpy, making popcorn sure is fun.
But Hugs and Tugs, we made way too much.
Why do you say that?
Call it a hunch. Champ better get back from the Winter Carnival real soon.
Winter Carnival?
Yeah, that's right. Cold, freezing snow. Ugh, I get the shivers just thinking about it.
Oh, Grumpy, can we go to the Winter Carnival? Yeah, can we?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, please!
But all that cold snow. Okay. I give up. We'll go. If there's one thing worse than snow, it's being tickled.
Time to help out Danny. Maybe skating will boost his confidence. Hi there, sports fan.
Hey, I know you. You're Champ Bear.
Pleased to meet you.
Hey, you're pretty good.
It's easy. Wanna try?
No, I wouldn't be very good.
You've gotta try, sports fan. Come on, let's find you some skates.
What if I fall down?
Well, that's easy. I'll help you up.
Aha! The Winter Carnival. It took you long enough to get here.
But you gave me the wrong directions.
And you couldn't even follow those. Now let's find that Care Bear.
Right away, Shrieky.
Oh, I already feel the cold. I knew this was a big mistake.
Look, Hugs! There's the Winter Carnival! Yay! Let's get down there, Grumpy.
Oh, I guess I'd better get it over with.
Hurry, Beastly, hurry! Hurry, Grumpy, hurry! Faster! Faster! Beastly, Toad, we're gonna crash!
Don't worry. I have the situation under control. Uh-oh. Then again, maybe I don't.
Yippee! Hooray! Goody gosh! Real snow!
Come on, Hugs. Let's go play. Hey, Grumpy, isn't this fun?
Yeah, real fun.
You're right, Champ. I can do it.
I told you, Danny. All you have to do is try.
This is fun.
Aha! There's that wretched Care Bear. I'll just give him a little helping hand. Magic mirror, let's have a ball. Make that Care Bear tumble and fall!
Huh? Danny?
Oh, I'll never be able to do this.
Wait, Danny. Don't give up.
Come skate with us, Grumpy!
Oh, I'm freezing. I knew I should have dressed warmer.
But Grumpy, you're already wearing 3 of everything. Skating will warm you up.
No, stop! I can't skate!
Look at him go, Hugs!
Danny!
Beastly! There goes that Care Bear. Get him!
Oh, I'm so bad.
Now he's really going.
Yeah, Hugs. He's a born skater.
Oh, goody gosh! Gee, Grumpy, you're a really great skater.
Can we go tobogganing next?
Oh, you've got to be kidding! If there's one thing worse than ice, it's snow!
Beastly, you hockey puck!
Hi, sports fan. Want to give the toboggan run a try?
Sorry, Champ. I'm not interested.
But Danny, look! Those kids are having a ball! Come on, what do you say?
Well, Okay, it might be fun.
Ready, set, and away we go!
Wow! You're right, Champ. This is a lot of fun.
This detour sign is just what I need to get rid of that Care Bear. Beastly! Hurry up and turn it around! Now that Care Bear is on a one-way trip off a cliff!
Oh, Shrieky, we're so bad.
What did you say?
I mean, you're so bad.
You better believe it! I'm the baddest! Here he comes! Quick, hide!
Look, a detour sign. We better follow it.
That was too easy!
That Care Bear is in for the ride of his life now.
You're listening to Alex Manners on the Solihull Radio Children's Show. That was the Care Bears and No Business Like Snow Business, and I'll be playing you the rest of that later on in my show. Last Thursday was officially Roald Dahl Day, which is celebrated once a year. And as I was looking through some of my Roald Dahl books on my bookshelf, I remembered some of the poems that Roald Dahl has written into many, many of his wonderful books. So I thought that I would read you one of his poems right here on my Solihull Radio Children's Show. And the poem I'm going to read for you is a Roald Dahl poem called Candyman from the film, or the book, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So here it is, and this is Candyman. Who can take a sunrise, sprinkle it with dew, cover it in chocolate, and a miracle or two? The Candyman can, the Candyman can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. Who can take a rainbow, wrap it in a sigh, soak it in the sun, and make a strawberry lemon pie? The Candyman, the Candyman, the Candyman can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. Willy Wonka makes everything he bakes satisfying and delicious. Talk about your childhood wishes. You can even eat the dishes. Who can take tomorrow, dip it in a dream, separate the sorrow and collect up all the cream? The Candyman, Willy Wonka can. The Candyman can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. And the world tastes good, 'cause the Candyman thinks it should. And that was the Candyman by Roald Dahl, that comes from the story Willy Wonka, or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, with Willy Wonka. And later on I might be playing or reading you another one of Roald Dahl's poems to celebrate Roald Dahl Day that happened and was celebrated last Thursday all around the world. And if you like Roald Dahl, then there are lots and lots of wonderful Roald Dahl books that you can go and read. Maybe you'd like to read Matilda, the BFG, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, like I just read one of the poems from. So if that's very, very interesting, then stay tuned to me, Alex Manners, here on my live Solihull Radio Children's Show. Here's Moana and Where You Are.
Moana, make way, make way. Moana, it's time you knew. The village of Motunui is all you need. The dancers are practicing. They dance to an ancient song.
Who needs a new song? This old one's all we need.
This tradition is our mission, and Moana, there's so much to do. Don't trip on the terror route, it's all you need. We share everything we make. We joke and we weave our baskets. The fishermen come back from the sea. Don't walk away. Moana, stay on the ground now. Our people will need a chief, and there you are. There comes a day when you're gonna look around and realize happiness is where you are. Consider the coconut, consider its trees. Each part of the coconut, that's all we need.
We make our nuts from the fibers. The water's sweet inside. We use the leaves to build fires. Cook up the meat inside.
Instead of the coconuts, the trunks and the leaves, the island gives us what we need.
And no one leaves.
That's right, we stay. We're safe and we're well provided. And when we look to the future, there you are. You'll be okay. In time you'll learn just as I did. You must find happiness right where you are.
I like to dance with the water, the undertow and the waves. The water is mischievous, ha! I like how it misbehaves. The village may think I'm crazy or say that I drift too far. But once you know what you like, well, there you are. You are your father's daughter. Stubbornness and pride, mind what he says, but remember, you may hear a voice inside. And if the voice starts to whisper, to follow the farthest star, why not? That voice inside is who you are.
We make our nets from the fibers, the water's sweet inside.
We sing these songs in our choirs. We have mouths to feed
The village
inside.
believes in us.
That's right.
The village believes.
The island gives us what we need.
And no one leaves.
So here I'll stay. My home, my people beside me. And when I think of tomorrow, there we are. I'll lead the way. I'll have my people to guide me. We'll build our future together. There we are. 'Cause every path leads you back to where you are. You can find happiness right where you are. Where you are.
If you all enjoy my Rainbow Man stories, where Rainbow Man visits a different local attraction every single week, then here is today's Rainbow Man story, and today Rainbow Man and his friends will be visiting Baddesley Clinton National Trust. So here we go with Rainbow Man at Baddesley Clinton. I hope you all really enjoy it. He is here, he is there, Rainbow Man is everywhere. Seek him here, seek him there, see him in his rainbow chair. Hello, Rainbow Man. I wonder where you are going today. Rainbow Man is very excited for today's adventure, as he knows he is going somewhere he has never been before. Do you know where you are going today, Rainbow Man? Rainbow Man thinks for a while, and then starts smiling. You look very excited there, Rainbow Man. Rainbow Man nods his head. Yes, that's right. You are going to be visiting a national trust today. But do you know which one? Rainbow Man shakes his head. You will be visiting Baddesley Clinton today. Right, time for an adventure. Off we go. Rainbow Man zooms up in his chair and starts swirling around with lots of colourful swirls. Swirling here, swirling there, Rainbow Man goes everywhere. Rainbow Man appears in the courtyard at Baddesley Clinton, outside the shop. You have arrived, Rainbow Man. You are now at Baddesley Clinton. Rainbow Man waves his arms in the air and starts cheering, woohoo! Do you know where Baddesley Clinton is, Rainbow Man? Rainbow Man has a guess. No, Rainbow Man. Baddesley Clinton is in Warwickshire, near a small town called Lapworth. Would you like to go and have a look in the main house? Rainbow Man nods his head. Okay, let's go, Rainbow Man. Rainbow Man arrives outside the house and thinks that it looks very old. You're right, Rainbow Man. The house is very old, and we think it was built in the 15th century. That is over 600 years ago. Come on. Let's go inside. Inside the house, Rainbow Man finds himself inside the Great Hall. Wow, Rainbow Man, what a magnificent room the Great Hall is. Did you know that this room was constructed in the 1570s? Rainbow Man shakes his head. And look at that stone chimney piece, Rainbow Man. Isn't it grand? Rainbow Man decides to go and have a look in another of the rooms. What room would you like to go and have a look in next, Rainbow Man? Rainbow Man decides that he would like to go and have a look at the dining room. Look at that table, Rainbow Man. It has been set out just like it would have been hundreds of years ago. As Rainbow Man is looking at the dining room table, he spots his friend Grumpy Doug over the other side of the room. Look, Rainbow Man, there is your friend Grumpy Doug. Rainbow Man goes over to Grumpy Doug to see what he is looking at. Grumpy Doug tells Rainbow Man that he likes looking around the house, as it is very quiet and there are no loud noises. I think Grumpy Doug is right. It is very quiet inside the house. Rainbow Man nods his head and agrees. Rainbow Man, I think Grumpy Doug wants to show you something very interesting in another part of the house. Grumpy Doug takes Rainbow Man into the kitchen, where he shows Rainbow Man some priest holes. Do you know what priest holes are, Rainbow Man? Rainbow Man shakes his head. Well, back in medieval times, priests and some other religious people had to be kept hidden. These specially made holes allowed these people to hide and ensured that they were hidden away and could not be found if people came looking for them. Thank you for showing us these holes, Grumpy Doug, but I think Rainbow Man would like to go back outside now. Rainbow Man waves goodbye to Grumpy Doug and goes back outside. Rainbow Man decides that he would like to go and have a look at the vegetable garden. Oh dear, Rainbow Man, it looks as though the vegetable garden has been dug up, and so we will not be able to go and have a look at all those yummy vegetables. Rainbow Man looks a bit sad about this news. Don't worry though, Rainbow Man. The people who work at Baddesley Clinton have just decided to move it, and a new vegetable garden will be opening very soon. Rainbow Man looks a lot happier and really wants to come back and visit the new vegetable garden. Okay, Rainbow Man, I'm sure we can come back and visit the new vegetable garden when it has opened. Do you know what they are going to be doing with the old vegetable garden, Rainbow Man? Rainbow Man shakes his head. Well, they are going to be turning it into a nursery garden, where there will be lots of lovely flowers and plants to go and have a look at. Rainbow Man likes this idea, as there will be lots more things to come and visit when he comes again next time. I know somewhere that you might like to visit next, Rainbow Man. Rainbow Man is very excited and really wants to know where we want to take him next. It's a little bit of a walk, Rainbow Man, but if you follow the wooden animal sculptures into the woodland, there is a great animal adventure play area. Rainbow Man can't wait to get there. Rainbow Man goes through the courtyard, through the shop, and past the car park. Can you see the first animal sculpture, Rainbow Man? Rainbow Man nods his head. Well, if you go through this gate and across the field, you will come to the next animal sculpture. Rainbow Man follows the animal sculptures across the field and into the woodland until he reaches the animal adventure play area. You have reached the animal adventure play area, Rainbow Man. What are you going to go and play on first? Rainbow Man decides to go on the bold badger first. Under the willow arch, Rainbow Man. Follow the trail, and then back under the willow arch. Rainbow Man loves pretending to be a bold badger. I'm not sure what you want to have a go on next, but the music wall looks very interesting. Rainbow Man skips over to the music wall, and who should he find there but his friend Giddy Gordon. Hello, Giddy Gordon. Giddy Gordon waves to Rainbow Man, and Rainbow Man waves back. Why don't you and Giddy Gordon try and play a tune on the music wall? Rainbow Man and Giddy Gordon play a lovely tune on the music wall. Then they both have a go on the nimble squirrel. Rainbow Man goes first. Go nice and slowly, Rainbow Man. You don't want to fall off. Then Giddy Gordon has a go. Wow, Giddy Gordon, that was very fast. Giddy Gordon starts cheering, woohoo! You look tired, Rainbow Man. It's been a very long day. Well, that's all for today. It's now time to go. Goodbye, Giddy Gordon. Colourful swirls appear, and Rainbow Man starts swirling around with them. Swirling here, swirling there, Rainbow Man goes everywhere. Rainbow Man appears back at home in his rainbow chair. What an adventure! You really enjoyed yourself today at Baddesley Clinton National Trust, didn't you? Rainbow Man starts to cheer. Woohoo! I wonder where you will go on your adventure next time, Rainbow Man. Rainbow Man shrugs his shoulders. Well, goodbye, Rainbow Man. See you next time. You're listening to Alex Manners on the Solihull Radio Children's Show. What do you call a cow on a trampoline? A milkshake.
Feel fresh and cool. All of you here just shout if you wanna dance. All of you here are feeling the heat. All of you here, follow me now, follow me now. The rhythm is cool and the weather is hot, hot, hot.
The sun will shine on me.
We're having some fun when the weather is hot, hot, hot.
Get up and move your feet.
The rhythm is cool and the weather is hot, hot, hot.
The sun will shine on me.
We're having some fun when the weather is hot, hot, hot.
Get up and move your feet. Down by the river, yeah, it's cool, feeling cool.
Oh, it's so hot.
We are together, all are watching the sun till it goes down.
So jump if you wanna join the party. Jump up and down and get off your feet. Jump up and let me hear you clap your hands. Jump up if you wanna drop the beat. The rhythm is cool and the weather is hot, hot, hot.
The sun will shine on me.
We're having some fun when the weather is hot, hot, hot.
Get up and move your feet.
The rhythm is cool and the weather is hot, hot, hot.
The sun will shine on me.
We're having some fun when the weather is hot, hot, hot.
Get up and move your feet.
It's too hot to jam. It's way too hot.
So what we gonna do?
Quit the jam and go someplace nice and cool. You got a place in mind, Rasta Mouse? You know that.
The rhythm is cool and the weather is hot, hot, hot.
The sun will shine on me.
We're having some fun when the weather is hot, hot, hot.
Get up and move your feet.
The rhythm is cool and the weather is hot, hot, hot.
The sun will shine on me.
We're having some fun when the weather is hot, hot, hot.
Get up and move your feet.
The rhythm is cool and the weather is hot, hot, hot.
The sun will shine on me.
We're having some fun when the weather is hot, hot, hot.
Get up
shake it high. Shake your beanbag, shake your beanbag, shake it way up in the sky. Put your beanbag on your head, hold it there just like a hat. Put it on your feet instead, give your beanbag one small pat. Shake your beanbag, shake your beanbag, shake, shake, shake it high. Shake your beanbag, shake your beanbag, shake it way up in the sky. Put your beanbag on your toes, on your knees, don't let it fall. Now then put it on your nose, then stretch up and feel so tall. Hold your beanbag in your hands, drop it down upon the ground. Skip around it where it lands, dance and skip all around. Skip around beanbag, skip around beanbag, skip, skip, don't tell me why. Shake your beanbag, shake your beanbag, shake it high up in the sky. Hold your beanbag out in front, swing it round and round and round. Now let's hold it tight and jump, 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 up and down. Shake your beanbag, shake your beanbag, shake and jump, way up high. Shake your beanbag, last time tumble tots. Shake, shake, shake and wave goodbye.
I've got some fun events to read for you now on my show. And the first event I'm going to read for you is happening in Tudor Grange Park. And next weekend will be fun in the park on Sunday, the 23rd of September. There will be dog shows, a classic car show, live music, face painting, pony rides, games, and lots more wonderful things like that. So that is next weekend on Sunday, the 23rd of September, down at Tudor Grange Park. At Hatton Adventure World, they've got something called Potato Shindig, which happens on the weekends starting from Saturday the 8th of September until Sunday the 14th of October. As part of your visit to Hatton Adventure World, you can help your children learn where their foods come from by harvesting potatoes and then taking them home to cook something delicious. Maybe you could make homemade chips with them, or some mashed potato, or maybe you like some roast potatoes, or jacket potatoes with coleslaw and cheese. Yum yum. So that is a Hatton Adventure World on weekends from Saturday the 8th of September until Sunday the 14th of October. And that is a potato shindig, where you can dig up lots of yummy potatoes. Then at Martineau Gardens there is a Stickman Trail, the lovable character from Julia Donaldson's popular children's book. On arrival to Martineau Gardens in Edgbaston, every child is given an activity sheet before heading out onto the trail. Throughout the trail, you're greeted by brightly coloured boards, each featuring pictures of characters from her story, plus memorable quotes too, like an excellent stick. Every board highlights something new to search for in the gardens, like plants or wildlife. Kids have the chance to also make their own stickmen when they visit, and that will run at Martineau Gardens in Edgbaston until the end of December 2019. So you've got a long time to go down to Martineau Gardens to join in with the Stickman Trail. Also, later on today, there is an autumn event at Martineau Gardens from 11 a.m. till 3 p.m. So if you haven't decided what you're going to do today, then why not head down to Martineau Gardens for their autumn event, where there's lots and lots of wonderful things going on. And that starts today at 11 a.m. and runs till 3 p.m. So if that all sounds extremely interesting, then you can head down to Tudor Grange Park, Hatton Adventure World, or Martineau Gardens in Edgbaston and join in with some of the fantastic activities that they've got going down there. And if that sounds interesting, then here is the Tweenies with the Runaway Train.
All aboard the runaway train!
The runaway train came down the track and she blew. Whoa, whoa! The runaway train came down the track and she blew. Whoa, whoa! The runaway train came down the track. The whistle was and her throttle back. She blew, 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 blew.
Go on, Milo!
Yeah! I'm the engineer!
Hey!
Right, here we go! The engineer said the train must halt
and she blew. Woo! Woo! The engineer said the train must halt and she blew. Woo! Woo!
Whoa!
The engineer said the train must halt. He said it was all the fireman's fault and she blew. Blew, blew, blew!
Hey, I know! Let's ring the bell!
The fireman said he rang the bell and she blew. Woo! Woo! The fireman said he rang the bell and she blew. Woo! Woo! The fireman said he rang the bell. The engineer said it was just as well. And she blew, 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 blew.
Tunnel!
Is it dark in there?
Don't worry, mate.
What do you mean a tunnel?
The runaway train came down the track and she blew. Woo! Woo! The runaway train came down the track and she blew. Woo! Woo! The runaway train came down the track. A whistle wide and a throttle back. And she blew, 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 blew.
Let's go.
Last Thursday was Roald Dahl Day, and I wonder what your favourite Roald Dahl character is, because he created many, many wonderful characters in all of his stories. My favourite Roald Dahl character is the ladybird from James and the Giant Peach, and I also like the giraffe from the story The Giraffe, the Pelly and Me. And here is another little poem that Roald Dahl created, and it's called I Had a Little Nut Tree. I had a little nut tree, nothing would it bear. I searched in all the branches, but not a nut was there. Oh, little tree, I begged, give me just a few. The little tree looked down at me and whispered, nuts to you. And that was another poem by Roald Dahl called I Had a Little Nut Tree. And I'm about to play the second half of the excerpt from the Care Bears No Business Like Snow Business, so I really hope you enjoy the second half of the Care Bears No Business Like Snow Business. Here we go.
I want to make double sure I get him.
You could always make a big, bad snowball and get him from behind.
I've got a better idea. I could make you into a big bad snowball!
Oh no! I think we took a wrong turn, Danny. You better hold on. Whoa! Ew, that was close. Huh? Oh, champ! This isn't fun anymore!
Maybe not fun for you, but I'm having a riot! I just love being bad!
The snowball's gaining on us! Yikes! This had better work! He shoots! He scores! Whoa! Phew! That was a close one! Are you okay, Danny? Oh no! We're gonna go over a cliff! Champ, do something! Care Bear! Steer! Hang on! Oops! Danny, are you all right?
I've had it, champ. That's the last thing you taught me into doing.
But Danny...
Oh, if there's one thing worse than snow, it's tobogganing.
Aren't you having fun, Grumpy?
No, I'm not. One more ride and we go home.
But you haven't had a turn yet, Grumpy.
Oh, no. You won't catch me on one of those things. Oh.
Goody, goody, gosh! Look at him go!
Wow! He's fantastic!
Oh, no! How do I get out of here? Not again! The cliff! Well, that wasn't so bad. If there's one thing worse than tobogganing, it's climbing back up the hill. Uh-oh. Hugs and tugs! They're lost. Oh, what am I gonna do? Hugs! Tugs!
Danny, you can't quit. Besides, sports fan, you have to strike out 3 times before you're really out.
I'm not a sports fan, so leave me alone.
I've just got to get Danny back on his skis.
Beastly, go after that Care Bear!
But Shrieky, I'm tired. I just finished crawling back up that cliff.
Get that Care Bear and don't miss!
But Shrieky, I don't know how to ski.
Well, there's only one way to learn.
Aha! Your Care Bear.
Danny, where are you?
I've got him now.
Danny?
Hugs. Oh, where are they? Whoa! So long, Care Bear.
Huh? Danny?
Look out!
Is that you?
Yow! Oh, no! Uh-oh. Wow! Oh, no! Not again!
Beastly!
Look out below!
Oh, you useless frozen furball! Next time, I'll handle that Care Bear myself!
Get me out of here! Hugs! Tugs! There you are!
Can we try the ski jump next?
I know I'm not gonna like the ski jump. Let's just try plain old skiing instead.
Yay! Let's go!
Huh?
Hey, Shrieky, look! It's the boy that Care Bear was helping.
Well, that means that Care Bear must be nearby. And when I find him, he's finished.
Oh, we're so bad. I mean, you, Shrieky, you're so bad.
That's right, Furball. Just don't you forget it.
Yow! Wait for me, Shrieky!
So, Beastly and Shrieky are here. They must have been causing trouble all along. Hey, Danny, let me give you a hand.
No thanks, no one can help me. I'm just not good at sports anymore.
But Danny, you can't give up. Those accidents weren't your fault. That girl, Shrieky, was trying to get at me, but she got you instead.
You mean I'm not bad at all those sports?
No, Danny, you're doing great. I was just trying to build your confidence so you would ski again.
Ski? But I can't. I've been so afraid since the accident.
We all feel scared sometimes, Danny. But it's like falling off a bicycle. If you don't get right back on, you never will.
Okay, champ, let's go for it.
I don't think I'm gonna like this.
Grumpy, you're facing the wrong way.
I know. This way I don't have to look.
But you have to watch where you're going.
I guess you're right. Ah! Too late! Ah! Ah! Yeah!
Oh my gosh!
Quick, let's go!
Don't worry, Danny. I know you can do it.
I'm so scared, champ.
Aha! There's that Care Bear. He won't get away this time.
But how are you going to do that, Shrieky?
You'll see, Furball.
Oh, no! Not that!
He did it!
You're the greatest.
There you go. You'll be safe here.
Thanks.
Way to go, sports fan! You did it! You're number 1 in my book.
Thanks to you, I'm gonna keep skiing. Maybe one day I'll be a champ, just like you.
Could somebody get me down from here, please?
Wow, Grumpy! You're the greatest ski jumper in the whole world!
Yeah! Do it again!
Oh, if there's one thing worse than anything else, it's ski jumping.
That Care Bear's won this time, but I'll get him back for this. Now move it!
But Shrieky, I'm tired!
Look out, Beastly!
Huh?
You're so clumsy. Must I do everything for you? Now see if you can get us home in one piece!
Yes, Shrieky.
Huh? There you go, Grumpy. All cozy and warm.
Here's your hot chocolate.
Hiya, sports fans. What have we here?
Oh, hello, champ.
Since you had to do all the babysitting, I brought you a present. A pair of skis!
Oh, take them away. If there's one thing I don't like worse than babysitting, snow, or having a cold, it's skiing.
You're listening to Alex Manners on the Solihull Radio Children's Show. That's right, boys and girls. I'm Alex Manners and I'm live here on my Solihull Radio Children's Show. Are you all having fun? Because I know I'm certainly having an absolutely wonderful time. Well, before I read you a story on my show today, here is another Disney song, and this song is the Disney song The Beautiful Briny from the film The Bedknobs and Broomsticks. So get moving and grooving with The Bedknobs and Broomsticks, The Beautiful Briny. Let's go!
How pleasant bobbing along on the bottom of the beautiful briny sea. What a chance to get a better peep at the plants and creatures of the deep. We glide far below the rolling tide, serene through the bubbly blue and green. It's lovely bobbing along on the bottom of the beautiful briny sea. What if the octopus, the flounder, and the cod think we're rather odd? It's fun to promenade, bobbing along, singing a song on the bottom of the beautiful briny sea.
bobbing along on the bottom of the beautiful briny sea. What a chance to get a better peep at the plants and creatures of the deep. It's grand when you're dancing on the sand.
Each glance bubbles over with romance.
It's lovely bobbing along through the water where we get along swimmingly. Far from the frenzy of the frantic world above, to beneath the blue,
could even fall in love.
bobbing along, singing a song
on the bottom of the beautiful briny sea. Bobbing along, singing a song on the bottom of the beautiful briny, shimmery, shiny, beautiful briny sea.
And this is a story of the amazing brain of Princess Jane, written by Kate Thim. I hope you all enjoy it. Once upon a time, in a kingdom called Minervia, there was a king called Roger who had two sons, Prince Nigel and Prince Neil, and one daughter called Princess Jane. King Roger and his sons were rather full of themselves, but young Princess Jane was lovely, humble, kind and good-natured, just like a fairy tale princess should be. One day, Jane was thinking about flowers, when she found Prince Nigel lying by the lily pond, eating a large pork pie. "Nigel," said Jane, "why do flowers smell so nice?" Nigel snorted. "Golly, Jane," he said, "sometimes you're such a dope. It's because the gardener comes round and squirts them all with perfume. Ordinary people's flowers don't smell, you know. It's just one of the perks of being royal." Princess Jane thought Nigel's answer sounded rather odd, but she thanked him anyway, and headed off to find Fred, the gardener, for a second opinion. "That's easy," he said. "Nature makes the flowers smell nice, so that the bees, butterflies and birds will visit them and spread their seeds and pollen, which makes new flowers pop up all over the place." Jane thought this answer made much more sense. Later, Jane went into the village bakery and saw an array of delicious cakes. She remembered watching Phyllis the cook, pouring runny cake mixture into the tin before baking, and she wondered what happened in the oven to make the cake come out so big and spongy and delicious. On the way home, she saw Prince Neil. Neil thought he was terribly good looking, and every week he had his portrait painted to send to one of the princesses in the neighbouring kingdoms. Neil, Jane said, what happens in the oven to make a cake puff up and be so big and scrummy when it comes out? Neil sighed. How can I be the brother of anyone so dim, he drawled. Look, the cake goes in the oven to dry, and when it comes out, the cook gets a special cake pump, a bit like a bicycle pump, which she sticks in the cake to pump it up. Of course, ordinary people don't have cakes like this. They just eat biscuits. It's a royal thing. Jane thought this was an odd answer, but she thanked her brother before going to find Phyllis for a second opinion. Jane loved Phyllis the cook. She was red-faced and jolly, and she didn't mind Jane licking the mixture bowl after something delicious and sticky had been in it. Jane told Phyllis what Prince Neil had said. Phyllis clutched the kitchen table for support. She held her sides and wiped her eyes, and tears streamed down her face. Oh, that Neil, she spluttered. Cake pumps. It's not that at all. When I beat my cake, big lumps of air get in it. Thousands of little air bubbles. And then, when it goes in the oven, all those bubbles get bigger and bigger and make the cake rise. Simple as that. Cake pumps indeed. Jane was still smiling at her brother's silly joke answers as she went to see Kevin, the palace magician, for her astronomy lesson. The next day, as King Roger was picking out fabric for the palace toilet seat covers, a man called Mr. Trickster arrived at the gate and asked to see the cleverest king in the world. King Roger, not being very clever, invited him in, and even asked his opinion on the toilet seat covers. But that wasn't why cunning Mr. Trickster was really there. He wanted the kingdom of Minervia all to himself. Your Majesty, he said, it must be wonderful to be so clever. Your people are lucky to have such an intelligent king. King Roger beamed. Well, you know, he said, trying to sound modest, it's not easy running a kingdom. You've got to have what it takes upstairs. He laughed loudly. I should think you're so clever that there isn't any question you can't answer, Mr. Trickster said. In fact, he went on, I would even be prepared to bet on it. King Roger went pink. Finally, he had met a man who understood him. In fact, Mr. Trickster repeated, because I know all you royals are real brain boxes, I'm willing to bet your whole kingdom that I can't come up with a single question too hard for anyone in the royal family to answer. So, the deal was set. If anyone in the royal family answered all Mr. Trickster's questions correctly, they would win the crown. But if they all got even one answer wrong, the kingdom would go to Mr. Trickster. Tell me, O wise one, Mr. Trickster said to the king, why do tigers have stripes? Jane gasped. That was a tricky one. She'd asked Fred the very same thing not so long ago, and the answer was quite difficult to remember. But she was sure her dad could answer it without any trouble at all. And sure enough, he did. And he got it absolutely wrong. The people of the court gasped. The king had lost his crown. But before they could realise the true horror of the situation, Prince Nigel stepped forward, his mouth full of pickled egg. Moo, he grunted. Beg pardon, said Mr. Trickster in disgust. Nigel swallowed hard. I said, my turn next. Ah, yes, said Mr. Trickster. Let me see. He gazed around the room, and out of the window at the clear blue sky. Prince Nigel, my noble knave, can you tell me what clouds are made of? Jane knew. Phyllis had told her. And if she knew, she felt sure her big brother would too. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, Nigel snorted. Jane felt relieved. They're made of candy floss and cream, he said triumphantly. And they taste delicious. The palace staff blanched. They'd always known Roger and Nigel were a bit dim, but it was just dawning on them quite how dim they really were. Oh dear, said Mr. Trickster. Bad luck. Me next, said Prince Neil, flicking back his silly locks. Ah, yes, Mr. Trickster, the galloping Prince Neil. Now then, can you tell me which are bigger, planets or stars? Jane's heart sank. She was beginning to realise that her brothers didn't give her silly answers for a joke, They gave them because they were silly themselves. Ah, easy, said Neil, yawning. I'm standing on a planet, and it's absolutely huge. Whereas, when the stars come out, they're absolutely teeny-weeny. Any fool knows that. Jane knew the answer was wrong. She and Kevin looked at the stars through a telescope, and he told her, although they seemed tiny, they weren't. They were just very far away. Bad luck, old chap, said Mr. Trickster. He looked around him. No one in the royal family could answer my questions. So, the kingdom's mine. Now, where's the royal tailor? I could do with a new suit. He was heading for the throne when Jane had a flash of inspiration. Mr. Trickster had said anyone in the royal family. That meant her. Excuse me, she said meekly. I'm a member of the royal family. Can I have a go? Mr. Trickster was a little annoyed, but as the first 3 royals had been such idiots, he couldn't believe he was going to have any trouble with a silly little princess. I think I can answer all 3 of your questions, said Jane quietly. Ah, yes, sneered the trickster. Just try. And so Jane did. She explained what Phyllis had told her about the clouds being made of water vapour, and what Fred had told her about tigers being stripy so that they could hide easily in their jungle homes. And finally, what Kevin had told her about the enormous size of the stars. As she spoke, Mr. Trickster's face became more and more stormy. He knew when he was being beaten, and he was being beaten by an irritating little girl. But she wasn't going to get away with it that easily. Oh yes, very clever, Mr. Trickster said, when Princess Jane had finished. But I see through your deception. While the others were making a mess of things, you had time to go and look up the answers. You can't cheat me that easily. But I didn't, Jane pleaded. Kevin had told me before, and Phyllis, and Fred. Ha, the trickster sneered. I'm not falling for that. You'll have to answer another question, and I'm not making it such a cinch this time. Jane looked around at the expectant faces. Everyone was counting on her. Right, said Mr. Trickster. I'm a comfort and a guide, but a danger to some. And the longer I live, the shorter I become. Princess Jane felt a little peaky. That's not a question, she said. That's a riddle. Take it or leave it, the trickster said breezily. It's all I'm prepared to offer. Princess Jane went quiet. Minervia could be lost, and it would be her fault. She thought hard. Who was a comfort? Nursery. But she wasn't a danger. Her guide? Well, Kevin gave her lots of guidance, but he certainly wasn't getting any shorter. She looked around the room in panic. Come on, said Mr. Trickster. I haven't got all day, you know. I want to start ruling ASAP. Suddenly, Jane saw something in the corner of the room. She knew the answer. A candle, she cried. It's a candle. The trickster looked stunned. You cheated, he shouted, desperation creeping into his eyes. You're too little to rule a kingdom. You can't possibly know enough. Let me stay, he begged. I'll help you. I'll be your advisor. Guards, said Jane. Take him away. And so, it was that little Princess Jane became the ruler of Minervia. But Mr. Trickster was right about one thing. Princess Jane didn't really know enough to rule by herself. So she asked Fred, Phyllis, and Kevin to help her, which they were delighted to do. As for King Roger, Prince Nigel, and Prince Neil, they had learnt one important lesson, but they still had quite a lot more to learn, in the palace schoolroom, where their teacher, Professor Thinkum, kept everyone on their toes. And at the end of the first day as Queen, Jane had yet another question to ask Kevin. She said, if people get cleverer every day of their lives, how come my brothers and my dad are such dimwits? Well, said Kevin, that's easy. It's because they always thought they knew everything already, so they never asked any questions. They never got any answers, and they never, ever learnt anything new. And that story was The Amazing Brain of Princess Jane, written by Kate Thim. I hope you all really enjoyed it, and I've got another story coming up for you later on in my show. You're listening to Alex Manners on the Solihull Radio Children's Show. Here is another Disney song, and this song is from the Beauty and the Beast film, Something There.
something sweet and almost kind, but he was mean and he was coarse and unrefined. And now he's dear and so unsure. I wonder why I didn't see it there before.
She glanced this way, I thought I saw, and when we touched she didn't shudder at my paw. No, it can't be, I'll just ignore. But then she's never looked at me that way before.
New and a bit alarming. Who'd have ever thought that this could be true? That he's no Prince Charming, but there's something in him that I simply didn't see.
Well, who'd have thought?
Well, bless my soul.
Well, who'd have known?
Well, who indeed?
And who'd have guessed they'd come together on their own?
It's so peculiar.
Well, wait and see. A few days more. There may be something there that wasn't there before.
You know, perhaps there's something there that wasn't there before.
There may be something there that wasn't there before.
Why did the boy bring a ladder to school? He wanted to go to high school. And here's another Disney song, So This Is Love from Cinderella.
So this is love. So this is love. So this is what makes life divine. I'm all aglow, and now I know the key to all heaven is mine. My heart has wings, and I can fly. I'll touch every star in the sky. So this is the miracle that I've been dreaming of. So this is love.
As it was Roald Dahl Day last week, I thought I would read out some fantastic and fascinating Roald Dahl facts for you today. So, here are the fun, fascinating and fantastic Roald Dahl facts. And fact number 1 is that Roald Dahl wrote many of his stories in a little shed at the bottom of his garden. Known as his writing hut, Dahl sat in a battered old armchair and penned famous tales such as Matilda and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Fun, fascinating fact number 2 is that Roald Dahl invented over 250 new words. Over 250 new words. That's a lot of words. And there's even an official Oxford Roald Dahl dictionary to help you tell your snozcumbers from your snozberries. Fun, fascinating fact number 3 is that in 1971, a real man named Willy Wonka wrote to Roald Dahl. He was a postman from Nebraska in the United States of America. Fun, fascinating fact number 4, Roald Dahl's first book for children was The Gremlins in 1943. The story was written for Walt Disney Productions and was considered an international success. So, Roald Dahl's first book and story wasn't Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and it wasn't James and the Giant Peach or Matilda. It was the Gremlins in 1943. Fun, fascinating fact number 5 is that James and the Giant Peach was originally going to be called James and the Giant Cherry. It was changed from a cherry to a peach because Roald Dahl said that a peach is prettier, bigger, and squishier than a cherry. And fun, fascinating fact number 6 is, like Charlie, Roald Dahl was himself a schoolboy chocolate tester. While at boarding school, Roald Dahl and his classmates had been guinea pigs of the chocolate-making company Cadbury. Each year, Roald Dahl and his friends would be sent Cadbury's newest creations and chocolate bars to test and to try out. And those were 6 fun, fascinating, and fantastic facts all about Roald Dahl. And here is a Disney song, You've Got a Friend in Me, from Toy Story. I hope you enjoy it.
Got a friend in me.
You got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed,
you just remember what your old pal said. Boy, you got a friend in me.
Yeah, you've got a friend in me. You got a friend in me.
You got a friend in me.
If you got troubles,
I got them too. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you.
If we stick together, we can see it through, 'cause you got a friend in me.
Yeah, you got a friend in me. Some other folks might be a little bit smarter than I am,
bigger and stronger too,
baby,
but none of them will ever love you the way I do. It's me and you, boy.
And as the years go by,
our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny.
You got a friend in me.
You got a friend in me.
Yeah, you got a friend in me.
If you enjoyed listening to the Care Bears earlier on in my show, then I've got another excerpt of a children's show, and the excerpt I'm going to play for you now is an excerpt from a show called the ZingZillas that used to be on CBeebies. And the ZingZillas are a group of monkeys that like to make lots and lots of music. And the excerpt I've got today is called the ZingZillas Hide and Seek. So please join in and have fun with the ZingZillas Hide and Seek. Here we go.
boring.
Morning, Pansy. Morning, Drum.
Ooh, banana.
Ah, morning all. Let's have a fun wake-up game of hide-and-seek.
Well, actually, we need to write a song for the Big Zing before we play games. And I don't like hide-and-seek anyway. I prefer I Spy with my little eye.
Morning, DJ.
Morning, Tang. I know it's early, but swing on over and listen to some sun-rising sounds.
Okay, will do. DJ's guest is all ready to play.
Perhaps they will give us an idea for today's song.
Oh, and after we've written the song, we can play hide-and-seek.
I Spy. Hide and seek, hide and seek. Oh, okay. If Drum wants hide and seek, we'll play hide and seek.
Great! Let's hit the glade and see who's waiting for us.
Yeah! Whee! Ooh, bells!
Yep, those are tubular bells, Drum. Like the ones you have on your drum kit, only bigger and chimier. And they're being played by my old friend Evelyn Glennie. Take it away, Evelyn.
The sound of the bells makes you want to swing on a vine.
Yes, they make you want to swing and sway.
You must be able to hear the bells all over the island.
You can feel the bells too. The music coming from the big hollow tubes makes the air shake.
Evelyn has given me an idea for today's song. We can use the bells on Drum's percussion kit to play a song about the bells we hear every day.
Do we hear bells every day?
Well, of course we do. How do we know when someone's at the front door?
Well, the doorbell rings.
Correct. And how do we know when DJ wants to speak to us?
The banana phone rings like a bell.
Correct. And what noise wakes us up in the morning? Correct! The alarm bell. We hear the music of bells every day. Doorbells ringing, who's it calling?
We can make up the song as we walk back to the clubhouse.
Yeah.
Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Easy. Evelyn, can you play the bells really loudly so my friends will hear you? When they do, I think they will come running to the glade.
They will feel the bells too and be shaken and stirred out of their hiding places if you play really, really loudly.
Oh, where's that music coming from?
It's coming from the glade.
Pansy?
No, I don't think it's Pansy this time. It's the big tubular bells we heard before.
Let's go and find out why they're being played now.
The big zing is really about to start this time.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were trying to trick us again when we heard you playing the tune.
Oh, I know. Well, that's why we asked Evelyn to play, and play extra long and loud.
Oh, if we hadn't have come back, we would have missed a big zing.
And it would have been all my fault. Oh, I am sorry.
Well, the good news is you haven't missed the big zing.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
But you'd better get ready quickly.
oh quickly.
Come on.
Oh, just in time because it's the last coconut!
It's time for
The Big Zing!
It's that time of the day when we like to say, it's Big Zing time. So take it away.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Today, we have a chiming, swinging big zing for you. And playing the bells with us is the zinging Evelyn Glennie. I'm so happy when I'm singing. Bells are chiming every day. I'm so happy when they're ringing. I love the melody they play. With a ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. The ringing of a bell with a ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. The ringing of a bell, the ringing of a bell. Phone bells buzzing in the morning, alarm bells telling you the time, doorbells ringing, who's it calling? I'm so happy when they chime with a ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. The ringing of a bell with a ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. The ringing of a bell, the ringing of a bell. With a ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. The ringing of a bell with a ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. The ringing of a bell with a ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. The ringing of a bell with a ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. The ringing of a bell, the ringing of a bell.
That was the best big zing ever! I am going to carry a bell with me all the time, and I will ring it whenever I need you.
Oh, great idea, Pansy. I'll carry a bell too. And we'll get one for Drum and Tang and Todd and DJ and the Beach Birds and Mr. Granite and Mr. Gravel.
Lots and lots and lots of bells!
Night, Todd.
Good night, ZingZillas.
You're listening to Alex Manners on the Solihull Radio Children's Show. That's right, boys and girls, I'm Alex Manners and I'll be here right up until 10 a.m. And don't forget, if you have any birthday messages that you would like to send in to me that I can read out here live on my children's show, then you can text me here in the studios on 075 64 30 30 64. That's texting me in on 075 64 30 30 64. Or alternatively, you can email me on studio@solihullradio.com. And as always, I will endeavour to read out your birthday messages. Well, in a little while, I'm going to be playing you a story called Giraffes Can't Dance, and it's by a lady called Nicola Wicks from the Heartbeats West Midlands group. So that will be a very, very special story that I'll be playing for you on my show. But before I play you that story, here is a Disney, well, or should I say, sorry, a Bob the Builder song, and this Bob the Builder song is one of the favourite for our show, and do any of you know which Bob the Builder song it is? Well, it's Mambo number 5, and get mamboing and jiving with Mambo number 5. Here we go!
Are you ready, Bob?
Yes.
What about you, lovely?
I'm a bit scared. Okay, team, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody's outside, so come on, let's ride to the builder's yard around the corner. The gang's all here, and it's time for us to do what we wanna. There's a house with a roof that leaks. It's an urgent job, and it could take us weeks. There's Dizzy, Lofty, and Rolly too. Wendy always knows just what to do. And there's no job too big or small. With scoop and mug, we can do it all. Metal, brick, or wood, it's all good, and we can always send in the tractor. A little bit of timber and a saw. A little bit of fixing, that's for sure. A little bit of digging up the roads. A little bit of moving heavy loads. A little bit of tiling on the roof. A little bit of making waterproof. A little bit of concrete mixed with sand. A little bit of Bob the Builder Man. Careful, Dizzy. Jump up and down and move it all around. Mix it up to the sound. Dig a hole in the ground. Take one step left and one step right. And one to the front and one to the side. Clap your hands once and clap your hands twice. And if it looks like this, then you're doing it right. A little bit of timber and a saw. A little bit of fixing, that's for sure. A little bit of digging up the roads. A little bit of moving heavy loads. A little bit of tiling on the roof. A little bit of making waterproof. A little bit of concrete mixed with sand. A little bit of Bob the Builder Man. Mambo number 6 and 7, 8.
Is this Mambo number 5?
That's a lovely job, Bob.
A little bit of timber and a saw. A little bit of fixing, that's for sure. A little bit of digging up the roads. A little bit of moving heavy loads. A little bit of tiling on the roof. A little bit of making waterproof. A little bit of concrete mixed with sand. A little bit of Bob the Builder Man. There's Rolly, Lofty, Scoop, Mop, and Dizzy. So much work to keep us all busy. Can we fix it? Yes, we can. With the team and Bob the Builder Man.
Yes, they can.
All right. Lovely. A little bit of Bob, Bob, Bob the Builder Man.
Are you all ready for a story now, here on Solihull Radio? Well, this story has been written by has been read by Nicola Wicks from the Heartbeats West Midlands group, and she is reading a story called Giraffes Can't Dance. So here we are with Nicola Wicks reading Giraffes Can't Dance. I hope all you boys and girls out there listening really enjoy this.
Giraffes Can't Dance by Giles Andre and Guy Parker Rees. Gerald was a tall giraffe whose neck was long and slim, but his knees were awfully bandy and his legs were rather thin. He was very good at standing still and munching shoots off trees, but when he tried to run around, he buckled at the knees. Now, every year in Africa, they hold the jungle dance, where every single animal turns up to skip and prance. And this year, when the day arrived, poor Gerald felt so sad, because when it came to dancing, he was really very bad. The warthogs started waltzing, and the rhinos rock and rolled. The lions danced a tango, which was elegant and bold. The chimps all did a cha-cha-cha with a very Latin feel, and 8 baboons then teamed up for a splendid Scottish reel. Gerald swallowed bravely as he walked towards the floor, but the lions saw him coming, and they soon began to roar. "Hey, look at clumsy Gerald," the animals all laughed. "Giraffes can't dance, you silly fool. Oh, Gerald, don't be daft." Gerald simply froze up. He was rooted to the spot. "They're right," he thought. "I'm useless. Oh, I feel like such a clot." So he crept off from the dance floor and he started walking home. He'd never felt so sad before, so sad and so alone. Then he found a little clearing and he looked up at the sky. "The moon can be so beautiful," he whispered with a sigh. "Excuse me," coughed a cricket, who'd seen Gerald earlier on, "but sometimes when you're different, you just need a different song." Listen to the swaying grass and listen to the trees. To me, the sweetest music is those branches in the breeze. So imagine that the lovely moon is playing just for you. Everything makes music if you really want it to. With that, the cricket smiled and picked up his violin. Then Gerald felt his body do the most amazing thing. His hoofs had started shuffling, making circles on the ground. His neck was gently swaying and his tail was swishing round. He threw his arms out sideways and he swung them everywhere. Then he did a backwards somersault and leapt up in the air. Gerald felt so wonderful. His mouth was open wide. "I am dancing, yes, I'm dancing. I am dancing," Gerald cried. Then one by one, each animal who'd been there at the dance arrived while Gerald boogied on and watched him quite entranced. They shouted, "It's a miracle! We must be in a dream. Gerald's the best dancer that we've ever seen." "How is it you can dance like that? Please, Gerald, tell us how." But Gerald simply twizzled round and finished with a bow. Then he raised his head and looked up at the moon and stars above. "We all can dance," he said, "when we find music that we love."
You're listening to Alex Manners on the Solihull Radio Children's Show. And that was Giraffes Can't Dance, and it was read by Nicola Wicks. And thank you, Nicola, for sending that over to me. And if anyone else would like to read a story on my Solihull Radio Children's Show, then if you record yourself reading your favourite children's book and send it in, you can either send it to studio@solihullradio.com, that's emailing your recording of you reading a story to studio@solihullradio.com, or you can get in touch with me, Alex Manners, via Facebook or Twitter. And I will read and play your story on one of my upcoming Solihull Radio children's shows. So I would love to hear your recordings of you and everyone you know reading some of your favourite children's stories. Here is another Disney song, and the Disney song I've chosen is a catchy rhythm, dancing a catchy rhythm from the Disneyland Parade. Here we go.
Along the way, there's lots of fun and laughter here awaiting just for you.
wish and watch your dreams come true if you take my hand. Just like Alice, you're in Wonderland. It's magic. Clap your hands and tap your feet and shout a big hooray. Mickey and his friends are calling out your name to join the Disney parade. Dancing, a catchy rhythm, singing a happy song, playing together on a holiday. We'll soon be dancing, a catchy rhythm, singing a happy song, playing together on a holiday.
Hey there, hi there, ho there, you're as welcome as can be. Come along and join the big parade and set your spirits free. You laugh, you play, and soon you'll find you've made some brand new friends. Here we got a funny saying that the magic never ends if you take my hand. Just like Alice, you're in Wonderland. It's magic. Clap your hands and tap your feet and shout a big hooray. Mickey and his friends are calling out your name to join the Disney parade. Dancing, a catchy rhythm, singing a happy song, playing together on a holiday. You'll soon be dancing, a catchy rhythm, singing a happy song, playing together on a holiday. Dancing, a catchy rhythm, singing a happy song, playing together on a holiday. You'll soon be dancing, a catchy rhythm, singing a happy song, playing together on a holiday. Hey there, hi there, ho there, it's as simple as can be. To make a little Disney magic's really easy. 1, 2, 3, if you take my hand. Just like Alice, you're in Wonderland. Wonderland, it's magic. Wink a smile and then a touch of magic pixie dust. You can join the masquerade, come on, get ready for the Disney parade. We'll be dancing, a catchy rhythm, singing a happy song, playing together on a holiday. We'll soon be dancing, a catchy rhythm, singing a happy song, playing together on a holiday. A catchy rhythm, a happy song, playing together on a holiday. We'll soon be dancing, a catchy rhythm, happy song, playing together on a holiday. A catchy rhythm, a song, playing together on a holiday. We'll soon be dancing, a happy song, playing together on a holiday.
Look at me, I will never pass for a perfect bride or a perfect daughter. Can it be? I'm not meant to play this part. Now I see that if I were truly to be myself, I would break my family's heart. Who is that girl I see staring straight back at me? Why is my
I'm underdog.
I'm one of a kind. I'm one of a kind now, baby. I'm the one. Doggone son of a gun now, baby. I'm one of a kind. I'm one of a kind now, baby. I'm the one. He's the one. Doggone son of a gun now, baby. I'm one of a kind. Oh yeah.
You're listening to Alex Manners on the Solihull Radio Children's Show. I hope you were moving and grooving to all of those wonderful Disney songs that I just played for you on my Solihull Radio Children's Show. The time now is 9:54 and it's coming up to the last 5 or so minutes of my children's show on this weekend and on this Sunday morning. And next week I'll have lots and lots more wonderful things to play for you. I'll have a host of fantastic songs to play for you, some more excerpts from some more old children's shows that you may just remember. Rainbow Man and his friends Giddy Gordon, Grumpy Doug and Awesome Alex will be going on another fantastic adventure, and I'll have some more stories to read for you. If you'd like to send me in a story, a recording of yourself reading one of your favourite children's stories, then please send it over to studio@solihullradio.com, or you can send it over to me via the Alex Manners on Facebook or Twitter, and I will play your recording of you reading one of your favourite children's stories. Also, if you have any birthdays that you would like me to read out on my show next week, then you can text in the studios on 075 64 30 30 64, or again, you can email us here at the studio on studio@solihullradio.com. And if you would like to listen to the episode of Rainbow Man that I played today at Baddesley Clinton, or any of the other episodes that I've been playing on my show, then you can head down to YouTube to the Rainbow Man Children's Channel. That's YouTube to the Rainbow Man Children's Channel, and you can listen to your heart's content to all the episodes that I've been reading of Rainbow Man. But before we go, here is another CBeebies song, and it's the CBeebies presenters singing It's the Weekend, and I hope this gets you all up and grooving and moving for the rest of today and the rest of your weekend. Here we go with the CBeebies presenters, It's the Weekend.
2 special days at the end of the week, so many ways to have fun. Saturday and Sunday are waiting for you. The weekend has begun. It's the weekend. Saturday and Sunday too. It's the weekend. There's fun to have and things to do. It's the weekend. The time for family and friends with CBeebies. That weekend feeling never ends. shop, go somewhere special for the day. Kick a football in the park, perhaps ride on your bike. Make and do or bake a cake, there's just so much to like. It's the weekend, Saturday and Sunday too. It's the weekend, there's fun to have and things to do. It's the weekend, great to get out and about. It's the weekend, it makes you sing, it makes you shout. It's the weekend, the time for family and friends. We see BBs, that weekend feeling never ends.
CBeebies presenters, it's the weekend, and I really hope that that song got you moving and grooving and ready to enjoy whatever it is that you'll be doing for the rest of today and the rest of your weekend. Well, if you join me again next week from Sunday from 8 a.m. until 10 a.m, then I will play you lots and lots more wonderful things to get that weekend and your weekend next week moving and grooving and off to a brilliant start. Well, if you've enjoyed playing in the snow with the Care Bears, making music with the ZingZillas, and visiting and exploring Baddesley Clinton with Rainbow Man and his friends, then as always, don't forget to join me next Sunday right here live on Solihull Radio from 8 a.m. until 10 a.m, where I'll be playing you lots and lots more songs, reading you lots and lots more wonderful and fantastic stories, playing you some excerpts from some old children's shows that used to be on the television, and, as always, Rainbow Man and his friends Giddy Gordon, Grumpy Doug, and Awesome Alex, who has Asperger's, will be visiting somewhere very, very special. So, it's goodbye from me, Alex Manners, and it's goodbye from Rainbow Man. Until next Sunday, have a great weekend and au revoir. You're listening to Alex Manners on the Solihull Radio Children's Show.